Hello, this is Palagi. Thank you for tuning into my channel and welcome back to part 4 of our series here. Today we're going to be talking about conceal carry tips. Alright, we already talked about the belt and it being a foundation, a holster, and if I didn't say it, a good holster is vital in during conceal carry. Okay, you definitely want to stay away from those like Uncle Mike's or those one-size-fits-all. That is not going to cut it, okay? I mean, if you do have something like that, it works good to, like paste inside of a bag, if you're running, different platforms and what have you. But other than that, I would stay away from them personally. But I want to talk about carrying a spare mag versus not, okay? Some people don't find it necessary. Some do. I personally do, okay? Not only do we not know exactly how it's going to happen out there. I get that all the time where people are saying, how many rounds do you need or why do you carry an extra mag? I mean, we have no idea what's going to be happening out there. I mean, we don't know if there's multiple assailants. There's so many different things that could happen. Also, studies show that a vast majority of the rounds that are fired off during a self-defense situation do not even hit their target. So more is going to be better in this case, okay? Also, during type 3 malfunctions, okay, double feed, all right, in your Glock or whatever you run, okay, you're going to lock your slide back, rip your mag out, rack, grab new one, okay? It's going to be advantageous to have a spare mag in that situation, okay? There's a myriad of reasons, but I'm just going to say I would recommend that you run an extra magazine. Alright, now once you have decided on the holster and the way that you're going to carry your firearm, you're going to want to find a place for it and the magazine, and you're going to want to keep it there. Okay, it is absolutely crucial that it stays in the same place all the time. We talked about the your accessories and your belt fitting that. Your accessories and your holster fitting the belt. Okay, that's very important, and the reason being is you're going to want to practice until you develop your muscle memory, so you know exactly where your firearm's at all time and where your mag's at every single time without fail. So you're not reaching around or it slides around and you're looking for it, okay? Those are the things that you're going to want to eliminate during any sort of, confrontation or what have you. Okay, let's talk about keeping one in the chamber versus not, okay? Obviously, I am an advocate of keeping a round in the chamber, and there is a reason for that as well, okay? Let's talk about the main reason, okay? Anytime you're dealing with a semi-auto pistol, okay, the likelihood of failure is when this slide reciprocates, okay? So why would you want to complicate something? You pull from concealment, rack around in the chamber, it gets hung up, now you started everything off with a malfunction. Bad deal. You don't want to do that, okay? Secondly, speed, alright? Now, it's not a huge difference. I mean, frankly, just messing around at the range, I think I average maybe half a second more by racking the slide, okay? But what you have to keep in mind is like the 21-foot rule, for instance. Someone can close in on you 21 feet in, what is that, 1 second, 1.5 seconds, okay? I'm going to venture and guess and say that you're going to want that half second. Every second matters in that sort of situation, okay? So speed, reliability, those are the two main things, or the two main reasons why I would advocate you keep one in the pipe at all times, okay? Adhere to the 4 gun safety rules and you're golden. Okay, another consideration, you're going to want to keep the rounds in your magazine facing toward the gun, okay? So straight from here in, rack, just like that, okay? You don't want your bullets facing backwards or, any which ways in there, okay? That's another way to get hemmed up, and you don't want that, okay? Printing. let's talk about printing for a second. In case you don't know what that is, it's when, I don't know, your garment shows the outline of your firearm, okay? In my state, it's not a big deal, but in some states, it can be considered brandishing, and they take a pretty dim view of that. So check your local laws and find out what you have to do or what you don't have to do, okay? Now, if you are new to concealed carry, all right, it might be kind of a strange feeling. It might take a minute to get used to it, okay? But that stuff's going to go away, and don't worry about that, all right? Now, you might find yourself wanting to look at it or make sure it's concealed, or if it's a brand new leather holster, you might hear the leather creaking or something, okay? Just forget all that. Don't be messing around with it. Trust me, nobody can see it, okay? Half the time, if you open carry, they don't even notice that, let alone concealed carry, okay? So just put your holster where it needs to be, leave it alone, okay? Alright, now whatever firearm that you decided to go with, make sure you train with that and put a bare minimum of 200 rounds through that before you carry it. I would prefer much more, but a minimum of 200, okay? Also, run your carry ammo. Train with your carry ammo. It's very important for several reasons. Normally, it's going to be higher in recoil, and you're going to want to know this before anything goes down. But also, some pistols are finicky with hollow points, okay? That nose isn't round enough for them, and it can cause feeding issues. So you're going to want to know if your carry ammo feeds into your firearm, okay? Okay, let's talk about regular sights versus night sights, okay? It is said that a vast majority of any sort of confrontation, self-defense situations happen in no or low light situations, okay? So it stands to reason it's probably a good idea to run night sights on your firearm, alright? Now, there's different kind of sights out there, obviously. If we're talking like target shooting, that's a totally different story, but let's try to stay true to the video here. For a carry gun, I'm going to want something I can pick up quickly, i.e. a large front sight, okay? For that reason, I run the XS 24/7 big dots. I think I've already even said that. That's what they look like. You got that big front sight, okay, and then this notch in the back. Also notice I have something to rack off the during like one-handed manipulations. If you lost an arm or something, you have a way to rack that off of your your belt or desk or whatever it is, okay? There's great ones out there, like I said, Meprolites, Trigicon, those TFOs, okay, those they're fiber optic and tritium, so you can see well at in the daylight as well as the night, and that's usually where night sights fall short. Usually they're a little bit dimmer during the day. I mean, I don't have any problem with it, but some people gripe about that. But that's a nice thing about the TFO, and they actually came out with a new one, the TFX, okay, where they solidified that. Supposedly on the older versions, like solvent and stuff could get down in there and kind of wear away and kind of, I don't know, it just didn't collect light as well and all of that. So they fixed those problems, and they put a big front sight on it, and that's one thing that I like. So do your research on those. There's so many good ones out there, but I would, if you can afford it, get night sights on your carry pistol. Okay, let's talk about gun maintenance too for concealed carry, alright? It never ceases to amaze me how dirty your firearms get just by carrying them every single day. Okay, it's incredible to me. But what I do normally is I'll blow it out actually with an air compressor. You get all kinds of lint and all kinds of weird stuff in there. Okay, but what I do normally is I'll just take a cloth or something like that and just wipe your slide down really good, take that out, wipe your barrel down, but usually like in the rails and stuff, and then down in there it gets pretty dirty, alright? And then if it needs more lubrication, I just run like one drop, let it drop all the way down on both sides. I know they tell you to do two, but I run mine a little lighter on the oil, okay? Essentially what you're going to want to do is put oil on all the wear parts. When you start seeing wear, just put oil there. You know, this is a good place. You want to avoid this at all costs. You get oil in that firing pin channel, you can get light primer strikes. That's not something you want to do, okay? I put a little oil on the locking block there, and then the barrel hood, okay? That's a good place to do it. If you run a bead of oil on the top of your barrel hood there, it's going to get inside there for you too. Or you can just do this separately, okay? But anyway, it is something I do, I don't know, about every week, okay? Another thing you might want to think about is after you have your conceal carry, like your magazines and such, okay? Run your ammo through it. I run mine through, probably not as often as I should, but every 6 months or so, okay? Now, if you're somebody who constantly unchambers around before you go to sleep or when you take your gun off and then you put it back in and rack it again, okay? What can happen is what they call bullet setback, okay? Now, essentially what will happen is this drives into that feed ramp fast, and little by little it starts kind of countersinking into the casing, okay, to the point where it can actually get dangerous. If you put it up to another one, you'll see it sunken in, okay? And the reason it's dangerous, if it gets sunk down there too far, it essentially turns into a little bomb, a little like firecracker, okay? So that is something you want to, you might want to keep in mind. So just fire all of that off, you know, when you can. Like I say, I do mine about every 6 months, but then again, my gun stays chambered. So anyway, that's just food for thought. Alright guys, well that pretty much sums it up. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I want to thank all my subscribers for supporting my channel. It's just a very big thing to me. I know this is generic information and most of you guys probably know this, but I hope you at least learned something, okay? These videos are geared toward you know, people that are new to conceal carry, and you know, like I say, hopefully I help them, because that's something that I wanted when I got into it. But anyway, that's it. Thanks again for tuning into my channel. Until next time, this is Chase, signing off.